Hey guys, how you doing? This is a training game I've got with Miko, who's a Chess Bootcamp Live member. He started with the Nimzovich Larsen. I've actually just played a game in this as well. I'm going to play e5 anyway, so obviously I'm anticipating bishop b2. Now this is a hyper-modern kind of opening because we are white is not contesting the centre immediately with pawns, as is the general idea. So obviously now my pawn is under attack and undefended, so I'm going to develop knight c6 first to defend. Just changed my my screen resolution a little bit because I'm getting old. Okay, this is interesting. So there's an equivalent to this with this e6 b6 opening for black that Levy champions. Now this does allow me to play d5. So this is a 15 plus 10 unrated as well, by the way. So we've got plenty of time to chat amongst ourselves. Okay, I'm going to go d5. I'm going to go very classical and principled, and I'm going to control the centre. So now I've got all these pawns. Okay, so he's challenging my knight. Important thing to notice is the knight is the only defender of this pawn that is also under attack. So the idea here is maybe to eliminate the defender and then take a free pawn. So we don't want that, so what I've done is brought my bishop out here to act as a second defender. Now, he can take here, in which case I'll recapture with the b pawn, and then I'll just develop and castle short. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting approach. So he's moved Freddy, eh? He has moved Freddy. The idea is that if I take here, he captures on g7 and wins my rook. And that's the cat's fighting. Also, if I push here, same problem. Okay. So obviously we don't want that. Now the issue is that he may take, I take. So he's got two attackers on this pawn. I currently have two defenders. I can add another one with either f6, which is kind of dodgy, but I think I prefer queen e7. So now still, if he takes up my knight, I still have 1-2 defenders on this pawn, right? And he has these two attackers. So we're okay. It's completely the wrong colours, there we go. 2 defenders, 2 attackers. Okay. So he says he's trying something new against me in the chat. Fair enough. Still can't push this. I'm tempted to push it, but I can't push it. I think my first idea here is knight f6. There's a few reasons. One is it completes development on the king side. It allows me to castle if I want. Another one is I get more control of the centre. I defend h7. There's lots to like about that move. My other candidate move is probably this, with bishop g4. That pins this knight on the queen. Could prompt a kicking, but I'm kind of guessing that what Miko's going to do is actually go and castle long here. So if I went here and h3, kicking the bishop back, that's not really a hardship. In fact, if he's going to castle long, then any opportunity to launch a pawn storm or start to move his pawns up on the king side will probably benefit him. So I'm going to play knight f6. Let's just check. Come here. He's got 3 attackers on there. I've got 3 defenders. He can remove one if he wants, or should I just hang on? Or do I do this now and then go long myself? I think I'm going to. If I do this, you see, he takes. This knight is pinned. This knight is not a defender. Okay. First thing I'm just going to break that. I'm going to break that pin. So now I do have 1, 2, 3 genuine defenders on this pawn. Right, and he has 1, 2, 3 attackers. Therefore, any trade will more or less be an equal trade. Bishop takes knight, bishop takes. And my next idea is probably going to be to castle long, then get my knight into the game, maybe centralise my other rooks, push in the centre, try and take advantage of the fact that he hasn't occupied the centre so far. So the other good benefit about this knight move, by the way, is it blocks the bishop's view of g7 and h8. So I've been playing, I think, quite well the last 2 or 3 days. No beer in the evenings makes a big difference. So I'm tempted to do this and just kind of shore up the middle, but it does make my knight look a bit stupid. However, my knight could come into the game this way. That doesn't look great for it. I think it wants to come to here. So maybe it's just a case of moving the queen at some point. And apparently it's the end of the world outside as well. Okay. So Miko's rated 1045 currently in Rapid. So short castles is still an option, but he is now extended down the f-file. I do actually have this, takes, takes, takes. There's a pawn to be won there, because I actually have 2 attackers there. So I can actually use this pawn that is currently, I've been looking at it as a target. But could I simply have, before this, could I simply have just, oh, I should have taken, damn it, because this pawn's pinned. Should have just taken it. Okay, I did this, he did this. All right, now, 1, 2, 3. So if I take with a knight, I have to recapture for sure. I can't take with the queen. So it's either going to be bishop or knight. Let's say I take with bishop, he takes with knight. I take his knight. This is okay. Now I might end up, the fact that my queen is the last defender of this pawn, but my queen is also a defender of d7, but she's not the only defender because the king is also a defender. I'm going to take with my knight because I like my bishops. Right, now whichever way this goes, I'm likely to be moving my king here. But that's not too bad because I can then castle by hand and stick my king on c8. So this is okay. My opponent is also arguably slightly underdeveloped, but so am I. However, my knight now can come into the game. It can defend d5. I'm quite happy. Given the chance, I might push c6 and even think about castling short. Picking the right time to castle is a skill that comes with practice. I just didn't. Hang on. Yeah, I completely missed this. That was terrible. Okay, so now he's taken the bishop, right? Now, if queen takes, he's got 2 attackers against 1 defender, so it has to be king takes. We knew this. We had this figured out already. All right. So what we've got now is we've got a situation where there have been a few trades and we've simplified down in the middle of the board. And this will generally actually slightly favour the less experienced player because it simplifies the position. This pawn is undefended. Everything else is kind of okay. This pawn is still undefended. So my knight is kind of pinned right now. I'm thinking knight f6 looks good. Rook probably to e8, seeing as I have no pawn on that file. D file I have a pawn. E file I have no pawn, so maybe rook e8, king here. Start a push up this side, maybe something like that. But it's good to see he's taking his time. He's used the same amount of time as I have. But I'm kicking myself for that, missing that pawn capture. I was only thinking about one thing, and that's one of the I think one of the biggest challenges for a beginner player or somebody who's growing towards expert status, which includes pretty much everyone who will be watching my videos, is the way that we start with narrow thinking. You have to start with broad thinking and then narrow down. Okay. So with that move, I just here. This was just so obvious. Okay. So now he's taken here. Obviously, I have to recapture, and I can only recapture the bishop, or I lose my queen. Okay. Now I'm attacking his rook. This pawn is pinned. This is undefended. Defended there. Everything else is kind of okay. So I'm thinking at this point in time, I'm assuming he's going to spot this attack because he isn't a fool. He may play d4 now. In which case I might turn my attentions to this undefended pawn. So if he plays d4, I've got, for example, this. If he attacks me with the knight, the pawn falls. So that's okay. d4, queen e4. He can't play queen to here. He could play queen to here. With thoughts about trading off, but again that drops this pawn. If my queen is on this square. See? There's no rush to centralise this rook. I think getting the knight out first and connecting the rooks is probably more important. So I'm quite liking this new screen resolution. I've basically knocked it down from the normal like 1920 that is the default for the monitor to like 1600 or something. Okay, so this is a good move. So he's done two things with this move. He's developed his knight, which is good, and he has, in the process, blocked my view of the rook. So I'm simply going to develop my knight. It's a no-brainer. Also, queen here check falls to knight takes. So I've covered one check, which is a good thing. You know, it's a positive. So now maybe centralize both rooks. King c8. You think? The other thing that this knight move does is it actually defends the rook with a discovered defense by the queen. When the knight was on this square, the rook was undefended. All right, now the obvious move is knight g4 with a threat of checkmate. Knight also covers this square. So if knight g4, the obvious move for white is to capture the knight, which is undefended. So I'm going to play h5 straight away with this idea. So it's not as stupid as it sounds to look down a route that simply doesn't work, because what you can then say is, well, why doesn't it work? And what can I adjust? What sliders and knobs can I slide and twiddle with in order to get it to work, right? So now this is an idea. And now how does he prevent queen coming in here with mate? Well, so let's say the knight's on here. Queen here doesn't work. I just simply go in with mate, right? So if the knight comes here, he's going to have to move this pawn. He's going to have to push, I think, g3. Don't see any way around it. Pawn in, and it doesn't matter, queen mates. So this is now a forcing move, and it's going to force Miko to play a move that he probably doesn't want to play. Well, I know he doesn't want to play it. He might. I think he should be playing d4 now, right? It's never... Look, even when you play a hyper-modern kind of opening, I don't like that. I immediately don't like that. But I can see what he's doing. He wants to come here. I think he should have played d4. I come here, he's going to come there. But then, do I have h4? Kicking the knight away. Where does he go? Right? I come in here. Oh, hang on. I come in here. If he puts his knight there, I just kick it. Surely. All right, we're going to try this. I still want to activate this rook. This A rook is not doing anything. The H rook is actually quite useful right now because it's supporting Harry at the H5. This pawn, by the way, is essentially pinned. Can't move it. Yeah, I mean, it could move here. But this pawn is preventing a knight fork on e3. Okay, Miko's now down to 820. I'm still on 11 minutes. Thinking... now I still think rook a to d8. Just defending this pawn, because it's not defended by any other pawns at the moment. So it's looking a little bit out on a limb. So I'm thinking rook a to d8 is a useful move, and it's good to be thinking of moves. Okay, so right, here's the problem that Miko's got now, right? I'm threatening mate. Knight covers the escape square. Now he could, for example, move the rook up there, but still queen comes in, right? King to there, queen on the back rank. Oh, the king can't move to there. Oh! Oh, wow! Wow, hell's teeth. He's just turned the table on me and gone on the offensive. I'm offended. Okay, king there is the thought. So I can't go here, right? King here is the thought. One thing I like about that, you see, this knight can't come out with check, and this queen's quite useless right now. If I go onto the back rank, he can't chase me onto the back rank, but it does block off this rook that wants to come out. Yeah. I'm thinking this is a move, but then so is this, and that comes with check. Out, you two. Dick about somewhere. Come on, bugger off. Is this even a move? It's got knight. No, it's got two checks there. You see. So that kind of makes sense. Let's go with this one. Now this is no good because the queen still comes in. But look there. I mean, there I was. You notice all I was thinking about was my attack. I failed to think about the defense. So that was a well-spotted move, and he has time to do it because it's check, you know. Now I guess I could have counterattacked the rook. That would have been an idea, would it not? Okay, all right, Miko. All right, my friend. What is going on here? First thought is one of my rooks to f8. Huh. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. If he figures out a cunning attack here, then fair play to him. Now, that pawn is not hanging, it's defended by the queen. He's blocked my queen's mating threat, that's the thing. However, and he's a pawn up at this point. This is good. This is good play, I like it. However, he might also argue that he's trapped his rook. Now he can trade his way out, that's okay. But he can't take there because queen takes, right? Can't go there because pawn, can't go there because queen. He can't go there because it's a rook and rooks don't move that way. Okay, so he's trading out. Alright, fair enough. Okay, interesting. There is a fork. There is a fork here. Huh. Okay, now this is what I'm looking at. I take this pawn, that removes the defender of the knight, yeah, and attacks the queen. I take this pawn, he recaptures, I take with check with a fork on the knight. The question is, what is my opponent's best response? Is it queen here? But my queen's then defended, so I can then... Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay, let's think. But Miko's playing really well. I mean, for someone rated 1045... Okay, notice that this is a very safe configuration for a knight and a king. Yeah. It's actually it would take this knight 3 consecutive moves to give check. We say all the time, it takes a knight 2 moves to move 1 diagonal. This is 2 diagonals. There's no quicker way. So my king is totally blind to this knight. It's totally safe right now. Huh. Okay, he's gone there, but now... Okay, I take queen. You take queen. Rook f1 check. Queen takes rook. No. Rook, hang on. Rook f1 check. Queen takes. No. How did he come up with that one? Queen here. You can't take my rook because I take your queen with the discovered check. This is sharp. Queen here. Pawn takes rook. Sorry, pawn takes knight. Wow. What an escape. You bastard. Right, okay, come on. I take queen. You take queen. I take knight. You take knight. I've got an active rook on the open file. That's not bad. Pawns are equal. We go into an equal ending. Again, see, same configuration of knight and king. So there's no. I know there's no checks. Check. Queen takes. Doesn't work. Queen here. Pawn takes. Bang. Forces the king here or here. Queen here. You can't take the rook because I take your queen. Think that's my option. Queen here. You take my knight. I take yours. Think we're alright. Or queen here even. There we go. Right. That was a move, man. Again, you know, this is the overconfidence that you can fall into as a more experienced player, as a stronger player. I also noticed that my queen was attacking this. Okay, so anyway, so queen here. Now he takes my knight. I just take his back. Maybe. Takes my knight. He's then got himself an isolated pawn, which is not fantastic. So I don't think... So he takes knight. Queen here check. He has to go here or here. He's grabbed himself a pawn. Okay, but he's undefended the rook. This looks good. The knight can't check my king. The knight isn't controlling too many squares. It's controlling that one, okay. But hang on. Right, we'll take the rook and we'll think about the rest later. So the king can't go here, here, there, there. There's only one legal move. The king has to go to h2. If I go here, the knight takes me, so that's not playable. I have a check with the knight, forcing the king back onto the back rank. He's saying in the chat, is it all over now? Right, he can't go there, yeah, because then, yeah, it's all over now. It is, because this is a discovered check and wins the queen. Check. So check, he goes back here. Then I've got this. I don't know. I want to put my queen on that square to fork the knight, don't I? There. Let's mop up some pawns. Try and simplify matters. I'm not afraid of a knight. The knight cannot kill a king. So I think actually knight here, queen takes, g2 is the solution. If he puts his knight there, that's an annoyance. But I'm sure I've got. It was, well, yeah. What? Of course he spotted it. Of course he did. Right, let's trade off knights. So I'm threatening mate now. He's got to trade knights. Takes, check. I'll tell you what, that was a fight. That was a bare-knuckle scrap. This, my friends, why you should be joining Chess Bootcamp Live. Miko's rated just over 1,000, and my God, he's drawn blood. He's more than drawn blood. Yeah, he's made me hurt. He's made me doubt myself. Very, very sharp game. And still he's fighting. Still he's finding moves. So Miko turns up to several of our training sessions a week. You can turn up to as many as you like. But now I can simply just wipe up the pawns here. Alright. Let's move the knight with check. We've got an increment. There's a 10-second increment, so I have to make sure. You know, I can't rest on my laurels here. I have to make sure I win. Let's throw another check. I have queen here. I have queen here, defended by knight. That's getting close. Oh, that drops the knight. You see what happened? You see what happens, Larry? Right, go on, Dave. Off you go, Dave. You sort it out. He's going to play king there. Got to. I can have the knight. Shall I have the knight? Yeah, come on, let's keep it simple. King takes. This is check with a fork. Okay. I'm going to have this pawn. Then I'm going to give a check or two. Make room for Gary. Right, this is all about simplification now. Keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. I just dropped my knight for no good reason at all. Right, now actually Miko's best bet is to try for a stalemate, which is hard when he's got pawns that can move. So what he should be doing is actually sacking these pawns. There goes a pawn. Okay, takes. Now we have to be very careful. King can't go there or there, or there. King only has one square. Right, I can do this safely because I know he's got options. And that, also an option. I think here we have ourselves a tactician. This is not going for stalemate anymore. Good game. Yeah, quite right. Great game, mate. Very well done. Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. Let's have a quick look at the game review. Right, bearing in mind this is player rated just over 1,000 in rapid. 70s, yeah, we're both in the 70s, both with 2 blunders. I actually have forced mates here. No brilliant moves, no great moves. Just relatively solid play, peppered with some mistakes, right? Queen f6 is a mistake. So from here, okay, black's slightly winning. This says I should have just gone for the trades. Right, this is saying that here I should take the queen, he takes me. Let's look at the line. Okay, so there you get this isolated pawn idea. I've got 4 connected pawns. Hey ho, yes, you know, but it's all right. It's all right. Job done. But Miko, my friend, very, very good game. Very good game, guys. If you want to play like that, can't promise anything, but you know, we will train you as best we can. Come along and join Chess Boot Camp live at chessbootcamp.club. It'll be great to have you. All right, and see you on some of our live sessions, which are a lot of fun. There's nothing like learning chess in a group of people that you know, people that you follow. You know, we really are. It's a group of friends now. It's yeah, I wouldn't change it. I learn a lot from it, and it's you know, one of the highlights of my week doing these live sessions. So I do 2 sessions of my own most weeks. I also tend to attend James's session and Craig's session. So James is like, I think, what, about 1900 rapid now. Craig is now 2100 in rapid. So, you know, different topics all the time. Lots of fun. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I'll see you guys soon.